My name is Haley. I'm a senior at Claremont McKenna College, and my college years have been complicated. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in my first year, and the resulting mental issues were paralyzing. To escape my distorted perception of reality, I sought to connect with my surroundings. I found refuge through my senses. These are the places where I found a single branch catches my gaze as if to offer a hand into the world of still life energy that I forget that I'm a part of. Wrapped around the concrete and fencing, dying to be heard, an organic structure in communion with the man-made boundary dividing space, the space allowing it to do so. Death feels natural in organic spaces. It is necessary. Nothing lasts, but there is beauty in that. Plants don't think about death, and in that, there is raw, natural acceptance of what is. I take step after step, and I find more structure with weight. I can feel the curvature of the numbers, the placement of the stones, and the hues of the paint. There is expression here. There is mind here. Brings up confusing emotions for me, but I can't place them. I am familiar with these emotions, and they scare me. I'm scared and know that the repetition of movement draws me into my sensual perception and into the closest form of reality I can perceive. The deeper I go, the more spacious I feel, within and without. The more depth to the space, the more I can drift into that depth, in all directions. The more I can sink into the limitless possibilities of the moment. My body boundless, but energized. I flail my arms and legs, and the water glides across my skin, clinging onto my hairs and suit, creating a million micro-sensations all around my body. It draws attention to the balance of my physicality, but more importantly, reminds me that separation is an illusion. I move to my back and see depth of clarity. It is more than the blue hue and white cotton clouds could ever convey. I feel like I'm flying. Everything is me, and I am everything. Everything moves, every which way, like our flimsy little identities and personalities and preferences, to eventually flail and tear and rot and fall off our souls. Flowers express themselves through colors and petal formations and positioning. Their expression is not hindered by societal standards and expectations. They pay no mind to judgment. They know who they are without knowing. They just are. We look up at the sky, and it becomes a consistent background to our existence. And the sky looks at us and doesn't think anything. It doesn't know thought. It is. Mother Nature carves and molds the landscape, and we carve through time and space on roads. I love when roads get rugged and worn and battered and cracked. There's something about driving on these roads that connects me to this relationship between humans and everything else. Moving through the mountains, learning every curve in the road, every tree making me feel like I'm learning more about myself without cognitively trying or analyzing. The longer I stare at myself in the mirror, the less familiar I become with what I see. This body is temporary, and I know that. But to embody it means to draw my focus inward to the expansiveness of my being. I move and I stretch and I flow. It becomes not what I see, but what I know. I fall into this. Space arises within me. Here, I'm nothing, yet everything. I'm not a student, woman, scholar, artist, athlete, or any socially contrived label. I am one with creation. I am imperfect, and that is perfect. I am free. The clouds look like this. This one resembles that. What if I cease to think and draw comparisons? How does that feel? Dive into the feeling. Dive into the sky as if it were a pool and explore its depth. A flag is grounded by a pole, and a pole is grounded by the earth. A pole doesn't flap in the wind. A pole isn't searching for anything. I used to wander into stores, searching for things that would finally allow me to express myself in the way that I wanted to, but found connection instead. Kendall, Samira, and Prince stood out from their storefront environments as distinct energies, their environments as facilitation for grounding human interaction. I fell in love with this place, not because of the retail aspect, but because of the undercurrent of life energy underneath all that exists here. The people, the sounds, the objects, all emanating vibrance, not in their existence as separate, but in their contribution to the greater spirit of the environment. Guarded by our features and clothes and past, it feels almost impossible to relate to the physical world that couldn't possibly understand me. Like the spikes of a cactus, protecting its inner body from nature's cruelty. I see myself in the individuality of that and everything, and that reminds me that I am everywhere, and everywhere is me. I stare into the face of someone who I've never met, but yet I am moved by their expression. It gives rise to emotion in me. I realize I am connecting with a statue. This makes sense to me. It knows more about itself than I do. It's easy to pretend you're someone else for a day at the Claremont colleges. Just go across the street and you're at a new college. But I didn't seek refuge in this. I needed a 50-minute drive to validate my disconnection from who I was at school. My inner confusion confused my surroundings. But here, I was nobody. This made me feel at home. Home is everywhere, but home is also a 10-minute drive on Town and Foothill. The smell of horses permeates the air. The rawness of their expression grants me permission to breathe and wiggle and sway and let go. The plants and trees and mountains do this too. They call out to me without language. Let it go. Let yourself move freely. Be free. Join me. Home is a 2-minute walk. This space has a magic key that unlocks the latch to my rigid outer casing and allows me to come completely undone. I fall apart. Through my body, I address my emotional pain. I breathe into it. It's there, it engulfs me completely, and I let it go. The wooden floors, glass windows, mirrors, they absorb me. Time doesn't exist 5 minutes away, where I'm completely immersed in space. At first, I feel the water on my body, and it is cold and uncomfortable. And I go into this feeling, and it slowly evaporates into nothingness all around me. The flexion of my muscles reminds me of my physical existence, and the objects here point to the existence of others. A 15-minute walk away exists a place that guides me to truth through creative embodiment and life energy. The sights here break me out of my logical mind and inspire awe and creation. The various shapes, colors, and textures tug my analytical brain in every direction until it gives up. Then I process what I see, smell, hear, and feel with my whole being. And about 20 minutes northeast by car, there is an open winding road. I swiftly move through the air, through the plants and brush and trees and clouds and tunnels. They filter the energy I bring, absorbing the cynicism and leaving behind the light that exists within me. I know I am beautiful because I can see beauty. What I perceive is a reflection of me. Chapman University, Thompson Creek Trail, Studio A, Haldeman Pool, Claremont Village, Mount Baldy. Thank you for helping me find